the final episode of the full 2012 college sailing season. And happy Thanksgiving! It's every New Zealand legal alien's favourite holiday. I'm Jane Mackey.
And I'm Chris Love. This season, US Sailing has helped us give away about a half dozen prizes from Vineyard Vines, Hobie Polarized, and Gill. And right now, I get to give away another one from Sperry Top-Sider.
And the winner is...
For the choice of a free pair of shoes from Sperry Top-Sider, Solomon Crevens from Tufts. And what a week for Solomon. He was also aboard trimming main sheet this weekend for Tufts at the ICSA Match Race National Championship. Congratulations.
Well, despite the season being over, we do have one final prize to give away, and it's a great one. It's a Gill Drysuit, perfect for those early spring practices when there's still ice on the main sheet.
If you've signed up for any of our giveaways this season, you're already entered for the dry suit, but if not, you've got one more chance. Go to ussailing.org, click Racing, then College, and get your entry in. You've got until next Thursday, November 29th at 5 p.m. And the winner will be announced on Facebook on US Sailing's page.
So while you're signing up for your chance to win the Gill Drysuit, you'll also notice that there's a big link to go ahead and order your US Sailing College membership. It's a great way to thank US Sailing for their support of college sailing and Chalk Talk. And it's also great for yourself. You get all the benefits of the normal US Sailing membership at a fraction of the cost. And anyone out there looking for the perfect gift for your hard-to-please college sailor, well, this is a great way to beat the rush of Black Friday and still get yourself a good gift for that college sailor. So moving right into this weekend's review, we just have two regattas this weekend to go through, and first up is the Timmy Angston, and we had 13 teams competing here. It's the 66th annual Timmy Angston Interconference Regatta, and both divisions were won by Michigan, so they take the win there.
Well, you notice my background looks a little different. I'm up in Dallas, Texas for Thanksgiving, which was nice because it puts me in close proximity to this week's headline regatta, the ICSA Match Race National Championship hosted by Fort Worth Boat Club in Fort Worth, Texas. Well, I was able to catch the last few races of the semifinals and the finals. Great conditions here in the final day, but tell us about the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, it didn't actually start off that well. We started off with wind delays both the first 2 days, and we never really got breeze over about 8 knots either of those days, and we struggled to get some of the rounds in. We sailed till sunset both days, and but luckily we had enough breeze today to get the rest of the rotation in.
Great sailing from these teams, the Final Four especially, but I think it was even deeper than that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. Yale, who finished second in this event, was only one win away from winning the championship at the end of the first day, or end of the second day rather, was in a three-way tie for a spot for not even making it into the top 6 for the quarterfinals, and still managed to sail really well at the end of yesterday and today and made it into the finals, and like I said, only one race away from a championship.
Going into the semis, the Chalk Talk pundits were looking good, with Yale, St. Mary's, and Georgetown still alive. But the Tufts Jumbos, led by skipper Will Hager, quickly knocked out my pick for the regatta, Nevin Snow, and his Georgetown team in 3 straight races. Meanwhile, Eric's pick of skipper Chris Sagerbloom in Yale defeated Jake Ladow and the St. Mary's Seahawks 3-1. In the finals, there was only time for a first to 2 wins series, adding that much more pressure in each race. At the start of the first race, Sagerbloom sailed Hager into a tough position at the start and then drew a foul as well, so Tufts really had no way of getting back into it despite staying close all the way around the track. Tufts started the second race down speed at the pin, but Yale pushed just a little too hard was OCS, and after returning, Yale was far enough behind they couldn't catch up. So with the score 1-1, the third race would determine the championship. Yale's Sagerbloom made a nice move on entry going over the top of Tufts, but Tufts skipper Will Hager did a nice job controlling in the pre-start, leading back to the line and forcing Yale to start on their transom. Sagerbloom forced a tacking duel upwind, squeezing the lead, but Tufts never gave up control. Managed a little more separation before the rounding, and then a nice downwind leg. Tufts increasing its lead up the final beat, and after an easy second downwind, finishes with a sizable lead to take the regatta.
Going through the semifinals, we knew Georgetown would be a really tough opponent. We have all the respect in the world for them. We had some really close racing. One of them came right down to the last jibe in the finish. So there were 3 wins, but they could have really gone either way. Going into the finals, we knew again it would be a really tough opponent to face in Yale. They beat us pretty good at New England's. I think credit all these guys. I finally got out of their way at the last start and won one, but the other ones we had to dig back using all their crew work and all their insights, so all the credit goes to these guys.
Great competition all around. We feel like this was a much more competitive nationals than last year. Every team could lose to any other team, so you had to be careful every race and treat every race like it was the last race of the regatta.
Jumbos on 3, jumbos on 3, 1, 2, 3, jumbos!
Incidentally, Tufts has won every other national championship in college sailing, but not a sloops. So congratulations to them for rounding it out. Well, we didn't do too well with our predictions, 0 for 3. But that does bring us to the final scores. It looks like I might just be ahead. What do I win?
Well, Chris, you win the same thing that I won last year, which is the imaginary Chalk Talk Prediction Contest trophy. I'll be happy to hand it over to you.
Hey Chris, I'm getting ready for Thanksgiving by wrapping up the final national poll of the fall season. And you'll notice in the co-ed rankings that it was pretty stable this week. If you remember 2 weeks ago, the co-ed ACCs were canceled, so that definitely figured in. Although we did see 2 teams that did well at match racing this past weekend move up. Tufts moved up to 8th place and Yale moved up to 2nd place. On the other hand, the women's top 3 looks different this week than it did the last time we talked. Dartmouth took the majority of the first place votes this week, moving them up to the top spot. Meanwhile, Yale dropped down to 4th, which leaves Boston College and St. Mary's in the top 3. And again, there are 6 teams in that also receiving votes section that we'll have to keep an eye on. So that's it from me, and one last reminder to share your best college sailing road trip photo for the chance to win $500. You can find out more at sailingworld.com/college sailing photo contest. Thanks and happy Thanksgiving.
So to close out the full 2012 season of college sailing and Chalk Talk, we're going to take a quick look back at the highlights from this season.
Well, in the opening week, we kicked off the season amid controversy over the Laser Performance deal being the exclusive boat maker for Spring Nationals. And so far, we have no updates on that story, but we'll be sure to revisit that in the spring.
Brown made an early statement winning the Danmark trophy, and we met incoming freshmen that have been making moves on the scoreboards ever since. Nevin Snow from Georgetown, Erica Reinecke and Raul Rios from BC, Olin Payne from Fordham and Esteban Ferrar from ODU.
We continued with a packed season of interconference regattas. The Moody won by Stanford. The Hobart William Smith Fall won by Navy. Navy Fall Women's, where St. Mary's was champion, and then we talked to Zach Brown to get a different perspective on the boats of college sailing.
A lot of good regattas with a lot of different teams winning. We had the Captain Hearst, which was won by BC, the Stony Brook won by Hawaii, Yale Women's was won by Dartmouth, and Charleston took the Navy Fall for the co-ed. We also had Juan Magley on the show after his incredible performance at Navy Fall sailing lasers.
The following week, Texas A&M Galveston took the Catherine Hammond. BC took the Stu Nelson Women's, and the Hoyt was won by MIT, which gave us an excuse to chat with co-head coach Mad Lindblad.
As the Sandy Frankenstorm was approaching the Northeast, lots of teams were heading to their district champs. The Erne was won by Dartmouth, the Shell won by Yale, the Sasa Fall won by Charleston, the War Memorial won by Georgetown, and the Nickerson Trophy was won by BC.
Despite several schools in college sailing being in the path of Sandy, damage overall was pretty minimal, though we do understand a lot of schools are still recovering. An update here from Joe Sullivan over at Fordham. The restaurant adjacent to the club where they sail burned to the ground during that storm, but luckily no damage to their boats. They were all just covered in soot. Out of the 2 piers, only 1 survived, but it looks like they will be able to get back in the boats in the spring. For now, SUNY Maritime has helped them out twice, giving them access to their boats for practice. And you see here some pictures of the Fordham team. This was just this week, helping out their neighbor at Sailmaker Marine as they rebuild from the storm.
Next up, it was single-handed champs where Juan Magley beat out Barnard for the men's trophy and Erica destroyed everyone in her path with a sweet smile for the women's trophy.
Co-ed ACCs were cancelled this year. They're still in the aftermath of Sandy, but Stanford took the PCCs, and at women's ACCs, Dartmouth became the new champion with a tiebreaker over Boston College.
And that brings our season to a close here, with Tufts taking the match race title.
Remember, college sailors, if you want to stay sharp this winter, the Vanguard 15 Midwinters is coming up. Fleet racing December 28th and 29th, and team racing December 30th through January 1st. You can register online at regattanetwork.com. And you can get more info on lodging, boat charters, and finding a crew on the 2012-2013 Vanguard 15 Midwinters page on Facebook.
So that's it for our 2012 college sailing season of Chalk Talk. You can keep following us on Facebook and look out for a sneaky off-season episode. Thanks everyone for watching. Congratulations to all of our winners, all of the competitors. Enjoy your break. And we'll look forward to seeing you back here in 2013 for the spring season of college sailing shown by Chalk Talk.
Thanks so much for watching. Sail fast.